Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of News Dose, where I give you the latest news in video games. I hope you all had a great weekend, but as for me, one specific headline really caught my attention, which was that Epic Games is being sued over Fortnite, so I want to talk a bit about that. Also, one of this generation's best games will be coming to the PC, and we got some more cool PlayStation news on top of that, especially for you all that like handheld experiences. But before we get into all that, let's talk a little bit about this Fortnite stuff, because yes, there has been a class action lawsuit filed on Epic Games because it's believed that their game is as addictive as cocaine, and that Epic Games knowingly made it addictive by studying psychology patterns for years. Now, even though Fortnite isn't my cup of tea, it's an insanely popular game with over 250 million people who's played the game across several different platforms, and it really seems to be popular among younger kids, which is one of the things this lawsuit is arguing and how it targets kids in specific. These parents claim that it keeps their kids from showering and even eating. With that said, I'm a little surprised to see somebody actually trying to sue Epic Games for this, and I'm going to get into that. Games being addictive isn't really anything new. This type of thing has been happening for decades now. I mean, if you look at games like World of Warcraft as an example, you will hear about people who've got insanely addicted to that game to the point that some people have actually wrecked their relationship over it, or they've even lost their job. So again, I don't think this is really anything new, and it can be argued that Epic Games just made a really good game that people want to play. That is their job after all, and they want to make a good game that you want to play, and they want to keep you in their community as long as they can, so they continue to release content on a regular basis. It is how they make money after all. I'm actually very curious as to how this lawsuit is going to play out because, again, I don't think this is anything new among gaming. Kids and adults alike have become addicted to games in the past, and this goes far beyond just gaming. I mean, people get addicted to all sorts of different things, and gaming has a lot of positive benefits, though these things are often ignored when things like this happen, especially with the mainstream media. And one thing about this lawsuit is that they argue that Epic Games was studying psychology for years to capitalize on Fortnite, but Fortnite was never meant to become a battle royale game in the first place. It basically cashed in on the popularity of PUBG and ran with it. They just kind of stumbled into this battle royale popularity thing, and I mean, Fortnite was originally just a Gears of War Horde-like mode with building mechanics. In other words, Minecraft meets Gears Horde. Now, I can understand somebody arguing that maybe loot boxes are a little predatory, but I can't really see a game being addictive a reason to sue somebody, because then you could sue pretty much any game out there. I mean, what if I got addicted to Halo or Gears of War or God of War? I mean, it really doesn't matter the game. What if I got addicted to any one of these games? Can we sue that company as well? I don't really see how this is a matters to sue somebody. Yeah, your kids are addicted to a game. Well, it might be beneficial to monitor your kids and say, hey, you can't play this anymore. I don't really think that we should be taking this to court. That's just my opinion, but before I ramble anymore, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this as well, and what you all think about Epic Games being sued over having an addictive game. I don't know, I'd love to hear from you guys. In other news, a big PC game was announced. Red Dead Redemption 2 will be coming to PC on November 5th. Now, of course, Rockstar recently just released their PC launcher, so I think this move was inevitable, but surprisingly, you can actually buy Red Dead Redemption 2 across several different storefronts on PC, including the Humble Store and the Epic Games Store. The Steam version will, however, not be available until December, so fans of Steam will have to wait an extra month, unfortunately, but overall, it is coming to PC at least, so that's really awesome to hear. However, if you do buy it on Rockstar's game launcher, you will get several different bonuses, including Red Dead Redemption 2 extra content and 2 free games of your choice, such as Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, San Andreas, Bully, LA Noire, and Max Payne 3, those are actually some really good games, so that's a lot of extra free content if you buy it on their own launcher. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Either way, Red Dead Redemption 2 is an amazing game, and it's actually one of the best looking games of this generation on console, so I'm very excited to hear impressions of how this looks on PC. Next up, we have some PlayStation news as Sony released a new update that allows you to play your PlayStation 4 games on your phone via remote play. In specific, this is actually for Android phones with a 5.0 or above software. I actually really like this a lot as it was exclusive to Sony Xperia phones before, which I always thought was really dumb. It seems to be a walled garden for very little benefit. I mean, I don't really think that people are buying Xperia phones to play remote play. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. Anyways though, I'm actually really excited for this. In fact, I actually bought a Nvidia Shield Portable years ago and played Bloodborne on it via remote play, but you had to jump through a lot of hoops getting into work by rooting your device and everything else, so it was just a whole big mess. I'm not really sure if the Nvidia Shield Portable is a 5.0 or above now, but if it is, I might have to start using that again because it's a really cool device. Whatever the case may be, it really is good to see Sony be a little less restrictive on their services. I mean, we're starting to see it with PlayStation Now. You know, some PlayStation games are actually on PC, and now you're seeing this, and it's coming to different Android devices. I mean, this is really cool to see, and this will get a lot more people using them. We do have a bit of bad news, though, and I always hate reporting on this type of thing, but the big AAA title, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, is getting a lot of very poor reviews, and it currently stands at a 58 overall on Metacritic. Now, I actually had this in my top 10 October games for this month, and I think I placed it in the top 3, I'm not really sure on that, so I wasn't really expecting this to do as poorly as it did. Now, this is actually Ubisoft's second big AAA release this year that has been received poorly by critics, with Anthem receiving a 54 earlier this year as well. It's certainly not a good look for Ubisoft right now, but hopefully it doesn't start to become a trend. Now, one last thing I do want to talk about, and this will only be very briefly, but Overwatch is getting a full-length novel by the name of The Hero of Numbani. It's about an 11-year-old girl, Effie, who created the robot we all have come to know and love, Orisa. Now, of course, Overwatch is no stranger to making stories for their characters with several comics already, but I definitely wasn't expecting a full-length novel either. It's odd to me that they're telling a story about a character that is non-playable, but this should really expand on a universe, and it may actually make for a better story looking at things from a different perspective. As a big Overwatch fan myself and an avid reader on top of that, I might actually check this one out. Anyways though, that is it for this episode, but if you liked it, make sure to hit that subscribe and bell notification button. Peace out.